to Apex Daily. Today we have a special guest, Dawei Yue, one of the most celebrated, popular, and top 3 debater.
Thank you.
So, Dawei, how's your Apex experience been thus far?
It's been pretty good. I like Apex, especially all the interesting subjects and the things we get to do, such as AP Human Geography.
What about Human Geo do you like?
Well, I'm not pretty sure why, but I have been in. I just learned about that kind of stuff for fun for the past few years, and then so I already know a lot of like the background knowledge of everything. So that kind of makes it easier and more enjoyable for me than the others.
Sounds great. What about the other 2 classes?
The other 2 classes are fun depending on the units. Like I would say for English, for example, the Hamilton unit is absolutely brilliant, but if there could be some other units that are less brilliant, I could say.
What about
an example?
What about the classes do you dislike?
They're not in Apex. I enjoy all the Apex classes. We get to do interesting stuff. We get to learn interesting stuff. But the non-Apex classes, not so much.
All right. We aren't talking about the other Apex classes. This is all about Apex. But okay. Anyways, what do you think of the teachers without being based on what they teach?
I would say teachers, they are all really good. It's all like amazing teachers. I like all of them. If you want me to put them on like an S to F tier list, I'll put all of them on S.
Great. I don't exactly agree with that, but I get it. Anyways, can you take a joke?
Yeah, I can take a joke, as long as it is not xenophobic or racist.
Okay, never mind. Anyways, you're known as kind of the super popular. You can pretty much just walk into a room and then everyone claps for you. Like, whenever you take a presentation, whenever you have a presentation, it's kind of just like after you're done, everyone just wildly claps for you. Have you ever like noticed that, or do you kind of just live with it, kind of?
Well, because I was not the most popular kid before Apex, so I really noticed it. I really, how should I put it? It really made a difference, you know. Like because before then I was just like the regular kid and doing the regular stuff. But in Apex, I am really grateful that people enjoy my presentations and stuff so much. And yeah, it does make a difference.
Well, that's great to hear, Dawei. Now I'm going to ask you about each of the quarter projects. One by one, starting with the nanobots, then going to the hybrid stuff, and then finally the dark ride.
Yeah.
So your first quarter project team was me, you, Jaden Leung, Jordan Lamb, Edwin Chan, Tristan Nago, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Tristan, Sam Clody, Josh Lumanga, and Davis Carganilla. What do you think about the people in that group? What was your first thoughts when you went into the project?
Not good. Well, most of us are brilliant people. Like you are a good member, and Jordan, Jaden. Well, Josh, was Josh even there when we did the project? Because he was absent for almost the entire thing. And let me think of. Sam, like, he tries to find work, but we cannot provide a work for him, which is probably partially our fault, because we don't have enough employment opportunities. Davis, he eats chips. And, so...
Happy birthday, Davis.
That is, not, like... But I would say, compared to the other quarter project groups, quarter 1 isn't the best. But I would say it's not all that bad.
Great rundown. Next up is quarter 2. You were with Alexander Lee, Nathaniel Light, Dylan Garcia, Joshua Robinson, and again, Josh Lumenga and Jordan Lamb. How did you think about this team?
This team, I would say it was way more productive than the first team because everybody actually did their fair share. Yes, everybody did their fair share. I am satisfied. I am grateful that everybody did put in their best effort and everything. Oh, Josh did play games, but not as much. He did work this time. And Jordan partnered up with me for all 3 of the quarter projects, and we have been getting along really well. He's a really good artist, and everybody else are brilliant.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, I like this team overall.
Finally, the hell of quarter 3. Me, you, George Rudick, Edwin Chan, Jordan Lamb, Michaelan Portelaine, Leanne Dong, Josh Robinson, and Adrian Candelera. What the hell happened?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Because since day one, we cannot reach a consensus on anything, right? Because we are arguing about the idea, the concept, the script, the model, the everything about this project. We're as divided as this nation is right now, to be brutally honest. But we cannot reach a consensus until like when everybody were almost finished with their stuff. And it wasn't until then when we started working on it. But to my surprise, we are quite productive. So we got it done. And we got it presented. Yeah.
Do you regret going with the original racing idea?
Well, I do regret about some of the slight details, like the fact that we made the car sit on a magnetic rail instead of just letting them wander around like cars, because having them sitting on the rail kind of defeats the entire purpose. So that was the one thing I regret about. I do not regret about the general idea, but then I did realize the greatness of the other idea. What was that called? What's the other idea?
Maze Runner?
Yeah, I kind of figured out the Maze Runner is actually quite good.
What else do you have to add to the quarter project?
The quarter project, I really appreciate that we get this chance to like team up with everybody and try to like work together on something, try to like work together, present together, and compete against each other, compete against other teams together. So, and that is also a chance that like the non-Apex classes are not getting. So I am really happy.
And then also there's the no homework part.
Oh yeah, and there's a no homework part obviously, because in quarter project we don't get any homework. So it's like this godlike high of us just doing our thing instead of like doing homework.
Now that we've talked about the quarter projects and all of the teachers, how about 20 time, the year-long project that we started in August and then actually started in December?
More of like,
What have you done with your 20 time project?
well, for a little correction, more of like January of next year, honestly. But anyway, so 20 time, I'll say, in the beginning, I thought 20 time is complete because I honestly... about 20 time, I changed my mind pretty soon because I really love the thing I'm researching about. I'm doing U.S.-China relations since the 1970s, which has a lot to do with economics, geopolitics, foreign policy, which are something that I really like researching about. So yeah, I really changed my mind. I really like 20 time right now.
How much of the 20 time have you done?
Well, my goal is 100 pages, and right now I am on 84.
Great. Have you ever thought of changing your mind about it, or did you stick with this the entire way through?
For the first week, I have constantly doubt myself about this topic and everything about it. But then when I really started doing that, when I really started researching, I finally figured out how I actually like this subject, how it's really good. And so after the first week, I have never changed my mind ever again. So.
How about we change topics a bit? How confident are you on the AP Human Geography test on May?
Very.
All right. Scale from 1 to 10?
1 to 10, 8.5.
Sounds great. What are you not sure about? What is that 1.5 that you're not sure about?
Well, because sometimes when I do tests, I just sometimes lose points to clumsiness, and sometimes there are just some things that just pops out of nowhere and we didn't go over at all, and I make mistakes on those, so that is what I'm kind of scared about.
How about the 395 trip? How excited were you when we were told that we were going?
I was very looking forward to it. Like, I was expecting this all along, although we didn't get approval until pretty late into the school year. But when they told us, hey, we're going on the trip, I was really happy about it, especially about going all the way north, visit all these places up in the mountains. I really like it, yes.
I was more excited for like the confirmation. Like, I knew that we were going to go.
Yeah.
Like, there was no denying that, but it kind of put pressure off of me to know that this was actually happening because it's not
Yeah.
something that happens every day.
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of special for us too because we're in Apex and this is like an exclusively Apex thing, So it makes us feel pretty good.
Now, what about the integrated 3 van? 12 integrated 3 and Mr. West. What do you think?
I really like this idea. I officially endorse this idea. And the only thing stopping this idea is the size of our van and if we can fit that many people in there. After all, we have a lot of integrated 3 kids in Apex.
There are a total of 13 integrated 3 Apex students, and I just want to say a big thank you to Faith Liu and Jane Liang. Liu? Yeah. Leo?
Sure.
Leo?
I think that's good.
And Jane Liang for not going and letting this be possible. L to you too, Jaden.
You're not going integrated 3. You're not going.
I know.
I wouldn't want to be in that van. You're not
But
going.
anyway.
Why?
So, now, for the final question.
Yes, sir?
Do you have heyday?
Hell no, because my parents don't let me.
No.